facto, Israel is waging two front wars against Palestine. In addition to its bombardments of the Gaza Strip, it faced daily clashes with Hezbollah organization the north on the border with Lebanon. The U.S. Congress reported that the organization has over 20,000 soldiers and up to 150,000 missiles with a greater range than those of Hamas. Hezbollah position made profoundly change the balance of the conflict in the Palestine. Dr. Ahmad Malli, member of the Politburo, gave an exclusive interview to teleSUR. Our correspondent Yunus Soner provides further details.
While the war in Palestine continues, eyes are focused on the position to be taken by the Hezbollah organization in Lebanon. Dr. Ahmad Malli is a member of the Politburo, the organization's political council in Beirut, and director of political and judicial studies at the University of Lebanon. We connected with him from Istanbul. Malli describes the situation, starting on October 7th, the Hamas operation, in historical terms.
On October 7th, we experienced a turning point in the relations between Arabs and Israelis. We entered a new era. October 7th is for Israel what June 5th, 1967 was for us.
Malli refers to the known Six-Day War, when Israel made a surprise attack first on Egypt and then on Syria. The war ended with Israel occupying the Sinai Peninsula, the West Bank, and the Golan Heights.
Gaza has been cordoned off for 15 years on all sides, but now Israel suffered the surprise attack and they will never be able to erase its aftermath. Recall what the founder of Israel's David Ben-Gurion said: the Arabs may lose many battles, but if Israel loses one, it will be the end of them.
This is how the Hezbollah Politburo member explains the Western panic reaction, adding, "It is too late to save Israel." Malli describes the decline with these phrases.
Until now, Palestinians were the ones forced to flee. Now we see Israeli refugees. Their society is not used to this. I advance that emigration and departure from Israel will begin. That's the importance of October 7th.
According to the Israeli media, between 200,000 and 500,000 people had to leave their homes on the border with Gaza and Lebanon, a failure for Israeli security system. The figure could go much higher. We asked Dr. Malli what everyone is asking. What would Hezbollah do in case the Israeli army enters Gaza?
We are in the center of the struggle. Israel is occupying our territory right now. The Shabab farms and villages of Kaf Chuba and Al-Ghar. Hezbollah is fully ready for any surprise.
On October 25, Hezbollah leader Nasrallah met with Islamic Jihad Secretary General al-Nakala and Hamas Politburo Vice Chairman al-Aruri. According to an official statement, the three of them discussed the final victory against Israel.
Axis of resistance.
We are in permanent coordination. Each one is doing its job in this war. The axis of resistance covers beside these organizations the Mujahideen in Iraq and in Yemen. We are already developing the position on what will happen in the future.
It is true that with the clashes in Iraq, Syria, and Yemen, the conflict has a regional nature. Dr. Malli notes changes in relation with Israel and the U.S. position.
The governments that began diplomatic normalization with Israel did not ask this question to their people. The people stand with Palestine. I think that the defeat of the Israeli army will negatively affect these processes. The attempt to expel the Gaza, Egypt, and Jordan populations have caused conflict between these countries and the United States. This is why we see an attrition in Washington's influence in the region.
Russian President Vladimir Putin compared the siege of Gaza to that on Leningrad, a paramount assessment according to Dr. Malli, who stresses that Chinese diplomacy has once again become very active in the region.
Yes.
U.S. intelligence has already detected the transition of power from the west to east. I think one of these wars' outcome will be to accelerate the transition to a new world, to a multipolar world.
Dr. Malli says that strategies and concepts must be reviewed within the framework, starting with the idea of two states.
30 years pass by since the Oslo Agreement without progress. The two-state solution is a past idea, especially since the far right dominates the Israeli government. What we will see is an exodus from Israel. Netanyahu will not survive this war, but we don't see any hope for his downfall.
Dr. Malli closes his speech with the historical view and sends greetings to Latin America.
They didn't read the Crusades' history. The Crusades came, occupied a large area of the region, stayed for 200 years and had to leave. Since October 7th, we see the strength of the Palestinian people, and in this struggle for freedom and justice, we are working alongside the leaders and people of Latin America, all together from the Arab and Muslim world of Turkey, Iran, and all free nations. We are sisters in this struggle.
Dr. Ahmad Malli, a member of the Hezbollah Politburo, showed in the interview great calmness and self-confidence derived from history.
Yunus Soner, teleSUR.